Wisdom is the principal thing. In all you're getting, get understanding.
Yeah.
All right. You're welcome, guys. 11th September, we are looking at chapter 11 of the book of Proverbs. Go on, share this video, invite your friends, family, share the link. Let's all be together reading these words of wisdom and sharing what we're gleaning from them.
Yeah.
I'm Roxie. I'm going to be reading chapter 11.
And I'm Paul, and I'll be listening.
Dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perversity of the unfaithful will destroy them. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless will direct his way aright, but the wicked will fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright will deliver them, but the unfaithful will be caught by their lust. Verse 7. When a wicked man dies, his expectation will perish, and the hope of the unjust perishes. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and it comes to the wicked instead. The hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous will be delivered. When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there is jubilation. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He who is devoid of wisdom despises his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his peace. A talebearer reveals secrets, but he who is of a faithful spirit conceals a matter. Where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. He who is surety for a stranger will suffer, but one who hates being surety is secure. A gracious woman retains honor, but ruthless men retain riches. The merciful man does good for his own soul, but he who is cruel troubles his own flesh. The wicked man does deceptive work, but he who sows righteousness will have a sure reward. As righteousness leads to life, so he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. Those who are of a perverse heart are an abomination to the Lord, but the blameless in their ways are his delight. Though they join forces, the wicked will not go unpunished, but the posterity of the righteous will be delivered. As a ring of gold in a swine's snout, so is a lovely woman who lacks discretion. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is one who scatters, yet increases more, and there is one who withholds more than is right, but it leads to poverty. The generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will also be watered himself. The people will curse him who withholds grain, but blessing will be on the head of him who sells it. He who honestly seeks good finds favor, but trouble will come to him who seeks evil. He who trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like foliage.
Foliage.
He who troubles his own house. He who troubles his own house. Why are you troubling your house? He who troubles his own house will inherit the wind. And the fool will be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. If the righteous will be recompensed on the earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? What a buffet of life.
You know, what has stood out for me is verse 14. Okay, that's so many other things, but verse 14 says, where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
Yes.
I found safety now, at this point in my life. I found safety by having men who are older than me, who give me counsel in my life. There's some men in Worship Harvest, my big brothers, because I don't have to keep always I don't have to think through everything from scratch. How to lead my home, how to increase my finances, how to lead the location, the church where I lead. If there's anything that I found, even if it may sound dumb to me, even if it seems like we have our little genius over here,
A little being
that's featuring. I found that even if something sounds so trivial, I don't take it for granted. I seek counsel. And I found that to work for me. But the years before, I used to live a very private life. It's been getting better over time, but I used to live a very private life. What I want to do with my life, what I need to be doing. Really, even in my family, most people didn't really know what was going on in my life. I just didn't know how to share really my life. But in those moments, I realized that during that time, everything was based on what I knew, who I'd listened to, and hopefully it was God that I had been listening to. But then I realized that I missed out on a lot of moments where I could have just made a phone call. Hey, John, my brother, what do you think concerning this? Hey, Pastor Moze, what do you think concerning this ABC? No, if I were you, this is what I would have done. Hey, okay, let me do that. Without overthinking things and end up making errors. Where there is no counsel, the people fall. You don't succeed in your business, you don't succeed in what you want to do. You don't go as fast as you could have. So this, for me, to this day, is one of my favorite verses in this chapter. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
And it's interesting that it's not with a counselor there is safety, because that could also be a thing. I have this one person I go to, they give me all the counsel I need, but multitude, that having different people, like you've mentioned, your brothers, your pastors, men around you who are, giving you counsel. There is safety. There is freedom from falling. Freedom from going down to the path of death. Well, verse 25. Okay, from 24, he who scatters, there is one who scatters yet increases more, and there is one who withholds more than is right, but it leads to poverty. But verse 25, the generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will be watered himself. And when we're reading it, it just reminded me of an auntie of mine who I love so much. We call her Prof. Hopefully she'll watch this. But every time I think about generosity, I think about this auntie of mine.
Prof.
Prof. She is so generous. She is so generous. And what I've found out about generosity is that the more you put out, the more you give, the more you receive.
Even much
when more. You water others, you're also watered. She has contributed so much to education for other people. And we call her Prof because she's actually she has qualified to be called a professor. But she has contributed so much to other people's education. She's a teacher herself, but also contributing financially. And now, she has also been able to attain that. So it makes me think, probably in your family also, you have such a person, an uncle, an aunt, maybe your parents, who have helped other people be educated or get married, or they have offered counsel in this way, and that you've seen that those people never lack. If you're looking at it from a financial perspective, people who are generous never lack. It's like I have not seen a generous person or generous people, living in lack. It's like, no. That's why it's the person who gives is always the person who gives. Does that make sense? It's like the person who always has something to give always has something to give. That's so so this thing, I always find it challenging. I'm like, I can be more generous. I can be more generous. Yes, I can give more than I'm giving. I can give more than I'm giving. I can give more than I'm giving. it totally stood out for me. There is something. Was it here? Yes. By the blessing of the upright, this is now 11, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked.
Yeah.
And so it made me think about the power of words, like how we were looking at, I think yesterday, on words.
Yeah.
And the righteous feeding many.
Yeah.
That actually we as the righteous, because we are righteous, if you're in Christ Jesus, you are the righteousness of God.
Yeah.
We bless this nation, Uganda, with our words. But it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked.
The wicked.
So as you were saying
By the
last time,
mouth.
do not do the wicked thing.
Yeah.
I will not do the wicked thing by speaking against Uganda. You know, sometimes we say Uganda Zabu.
Yeah.
But after something, like sarcastically, like something negative has happened, Ugandan politician has done something, a Ugandan businessman has done something negative, and then we're like, yeah, that's Uganda for you. Uganda, something. Like, let us be the people who bless this nation. And for me, I had to repent from that, because sometimes I would look at and I'm like, oh gosh, but this is the country I'm living in. I can't be speaking negatively about it. This is the country my sons are growing up in.
Yeah.
You know, this is the country
it will always be your motherland.
This is my motherland. I better be speaking words of life. I better be blessing it. I better be saying Ugandans are flourishing.
Yeah.
Uganda is a disease-free zone.
Yeah.
Uganda is an economic powerhouse.
Yes.
I mean, I better be the one saying those things. Because if I'm saying negativity, if I'm cursing this land, then even if I'm not wicked, because I'm the righteousness of God, I am doing the work of the wicked.
Yes.
By my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that totally stood out for me as well.
Wow. You know, the image that came to mind even at the close was when you said, how can you curse your own country? You're living in it.
Yeah.
But you want to succeed in it.
Yes.
But you're speaking negativity about it.
Yeah.
It's like cutting the branch on which you're seated of a tree.
Terrible.
Or burning a house that you're living in when you're in the middle of it and you decide to
roll.
pour fuel all around the house while you're in it.
No.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today, Paul, Roxie, and Jason over here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us. Do remember to leave for us a comment, not just us, but everyone else who's going to watch this video. We want to know what verses stood out for you. What wisdom can you share? How are you applying the word? How is it bringing light into your life? We want to hear, we want to know, we want to learn together. Let's grow wise together. See you tomorrow. May you continue to grow in wisdom and to be generous, to get counselors. Yeah? All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.